Welcome back to the deep dive. We are jumping right in today. There's this colossal shift happening that's really reshaping local healthcare, wellness practices too.
Absolutely. We're talking chiropractors, dentists, PTs, optometrists, really anyone who relies on that local patient flow.
And it's all down to artificial intelligence, isn't it?
Mhm.
Specifically Google's AI overview. It seems like the old marketing playbook is just obsolete now.
So much is, yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this. For a local provider, visibility. It's not about ranking high in those blue links anymore, is it?
Not really, no.
It's now like totally dependent on whether Google's AI actually trusts you enough to cite you directly in its answer right at the top.
That's the key, being cited.
And if you're not optimized for that AI citation, well, you're basically invisible, especially to patients who are searching with high intent, needing care now.
That's a really critical distinction you're making. This isn't just, another little SEO update we have to worry about.
Right. It feels bigger.
It is bigger. It's fundamental. It's a structural change in, well, how trust works online now and how patients find local care.
So the algorithms aren't just listing things anymore.
No, they're synthesizing,
Right.
summarizing, recommending. The goalposts have totally shifted. It's not just about being found. The new goal is to be actively chosen, recommended by Google's AI systems, what they used to call SGE.
Chosen by the AI.
Yeah. So
Right.
our mission today really is to cut through all the noise around this.
Yep.
Explain the core requirements, the technical stuff you need to rank in this AI overview space,
And they are.
and then detail the strategy. This comprehensive multimedia and automation approach that a wellness practice needs to become, well, a legitimate, trusted digital entity across multiple platforms.
Okay, let's start right there with that dominant space.
Yeah.
The AI overview.
Mm.
It's a game changer, like you said, because it just answers the patient's question instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I'm asking, what causes lower back pain or maybe who's the best pediatric dentist near me, the AI just gives you the answer
Yeah.
right there.
And that speed, that synthesis, that's exactly why traditional SEO is, well, it's struggling.
Because the AI overview just takes over.
It takes over the prime digital real estate. When it gets triggered, and it's happening more and more often, it appears above everything else. All the standard organic listings, gone. Pushed down.
And this is the bit everyone needs to grasp, right? It even pushes down the traditional maps pack.
Exactly. Those 3 local listings with the map pins, the ones businesses fought tooth and nail to rank in,
Yeah.
pushed down the page by the AI overview.
So if you are cited in that overview,
You've got instant credibility, undeniable, and you've literally displaced competitors who are maybe banking on that old map spec spot.
that feels, well, almost unfair. Is the AI actively penalizing practices, or is it just prioritizing the ones that build this higher level of trust?
It's more the latter, prioritization, but the effect is pretty much the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it.
What's really fascinating, I think, is the shift in what matters for ranking. The currency has changed. Well, traditional SEO, it was all about link quantity, keyword density, right? But the AI overview prioritizes something different. Entity authority.
Entity authority, okay.
It cares less about how many random links point to your site and way more about whether you're seen as a legitimate, authoritative source of information. Recognized,
Yeah.
verified, across the whole digital ecosystem.
And the stakes here for local providers, they're huge. We saw those stats, something like 78% of local searches lead straight to an offline visitor appointment.
That's right, high conversion.
And you layer on that, 92% of patients never go past page 1 of Google, and 88% trust online reviews like personal recommendations.
Yeah.
Well, if the AI doesn't cite you,
You're effectively on page 2.
it's
Or worse, you're invisible to most searchers.
Okay, so we have to dig into this entity authority. We used to just talk about NAP consistency, name, address, phone, making sure citations were correct everywhere.
Right, that was foundational.
But what's the real difference between that old school citation work and this new idea of entity authority? How does a business actually manufacture institutional trust for an AI?
Yeah, manufacture is an interesting word. It's more about demonstrating existing institutional verification. Entity authority is about the AI recognizing your practice as legitimate, licensed, verifiable, and it checks this across multiple authoritative structured sources.
Why? Why does it need that?
Think about it from Google's perspective. AI systems are trying to reduce their own liability, right? They want to cite sources that have already been vetted by established institutions. It's safer for them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well,
So where does the AI look for this vetting?
it checks specific key platforms, places like Wikidata, that's huge for structured data, but also things like LinkedIn company pages, professional medical associations your doctors belong to, state medical boards.
Ah, the official stuff.
Exactly. And those specialized healthcare directories like HealthGrades, ZocDoc, if your practice isn't listed consistently, accurately, and actively across these kinds of authoritative sources, the AI basically struggles to see you as a trustworthy entity it can confidently cite.
So the AI is kind of using these institutional platforms, licensing boards, directories, as a proxy for trust to reduce its own risk when making a recommendation.
Precisely. It's pattern recognition on a massive scale.
Okay, got it. Now, what about the actual content on the practice's site? If the AI ignores, marketing fluff, what kind of information does it actually want to ingest?
It really prefers structured, factual content. The content needs to read almost like journalism or an encyclopedia entry, educational,
Yeah.
genuinely patient-focused. Because remember, the AI's main job is answering an informational query conversationally.
Good. Can you give us some examples? What kind of content formats does the AI just eat up?
Oh, absolutely. Think about stuff that's easy for a machine to parse and summarize.
Great.
Well-optimized FAQ sections are great, especially with direct conversational answers. Step-by-step treatment guides, especially using clear numbered lists. Comparison tables, maybe contrasting different procedures or outcomes. Pages with just medical statistics. Definition-heavy glossary pages.
So really structured data.
Exactly. The format is almost designed for AI ingestion first, human reading second. Though obviously it needs to be helpful for humans too.
Right. And reviews. We know patients trust them massively, but how does an AI look at reviews differently than, say, me skimming Yelp?
That's a great question. The AI systems analyze sentiment and diversity across multiple platforms.
So not just the Google star rating.
Definitely not just that. It's scraping health grades, vitals, Yelp, you name it. It's looking for detailed reviews showing consistent positive sentiment over time, and critically, sentiment about specific things like clinical outcomes and the patient care experience.
Ah, so it's looking for patterns in the text, not just stars.
Exactly. That diversity of positive sentiment across many platforms that reinforces your entity authority way more powerfully than just having a good rating on Google alone.
Wow. Okay, this level of, institutional vetting and structured content,
Yeah.
it demands a totally different way of thinking about content creation, doesn't it?
Completely different.
Which brings us to this critical piece, the multimedia content strategy you mentioned. We're not just talking about writing a blog post anymore.
No way. Not if you want to compete in the AI overview.
This sounds more like building a whole content ecosystem, maybe centered around one core topic, like announcing a new doctor or a specialized treatment.
It's exactly right. The complexity of this AI environment, it really demands what we call an omnishare approach. You have to be everywhere the AI looks.
Omnishare, okay.
Yeah, if you only post on your blog, you're only building entity trust in that one little silo. To prove comprehensive authority, you need to kind of blanket the digital sphere.
Okay, I get the why. But 7 distinct assets for one announcement. That sounds incredibly intense for a busy practice owner listening right now. Why 7? Why is that layered approach a necessity and not just, a nice to have?
It's necessary because each different asset type speaks a slightly different language to a different part of the AI's indexing and verification system.
Oh, okay.
So by creating and distributing 7 related pieces of content across 7 distinct types of platforms, you're generating what we call multi-platform entity signals at scale.
Multi-platform entity signals.
Yeah, you're creating these redundant, authoritative proofs that your practice exists, is active, and is credible on this specific topic from multiple angles.
Okay, let's walk through this suite then, asset by asset. And you could explain the specific job each one does in building that AI authority. Where do you start? What's the foundation?
The foundation typically is the press release, but critically it has to be written in a proper journalistic style, non-promotional, factual. And then it gets distributed to syndicated news outlets.
Why the news outlets?
Because that immediately establishes the practice as a credible, newsworthy entity on this topic. It gives the AI a neutral third-party source it can potentially cite without sounding like it's just relaying marketing copy.
Got it. Okay, number 2. You take that info and put it on the practice's own website. As a blog article, right?
Correct. The blog article repurposes that core information, but it must have proper heading structure, H2s, H3s, and, crucially, that schema markup. That's the structured data layer.
Speaking the AI's language.
Exactly. It's the practice structuring the facts for easy ingestion. Plus, it serves as a high-authority backlink target for some of the other assets.
Okay. Next up, visual stuff. The infographic.
Right. Infographics provide visual health content. But again, it's about the data behind the visual. Structured data points, geo-relevant metadata embedded in the file, and then you distribute it on visual platforms like Pinterest. It signals authority in a different visual format.
Number 4, the slideshow presentation. Now, this one feels a bit old school, like SlideShare. Why is that needed?
It's all about the structure and the platform authority. SlideShare, Scribd. These are seen as trusted archival platforms by search engines. The presentation format itself, clear headers, bullet points, is highly structured and scannable for AI.
So the platform matters as much as the format.
Yes. And distributing there provides really strong authoritative backlinks and distributed citations that AI systems recognize and trust.
Okay, now, video. You said we need both short form and long form.
Yes, absolutely. They serve different purposes. The short form video, think YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, that's optimized for immediate visibility, reach, engagement. Driving eyeballs across social channels the AI is definitely monitoring.
And the long form.
The long-form video, maybe hosted on YouTube or Vimeo, is essential for a different reason, the transcription. Google and other AI systems index the full audio transcription.
So the words spoken in the video become searchable text?
Exactly, and we make sure the video description is fully optimized to full and name, address, phone, keywords, structured info to really strengthen that local context and entity link.
Okay, almost there. Asset number 7, the podcast interview.
Right. Similar logic to the long-form video, but tapping into the audio ecosystem. Distributed to major platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., the transcription gets indexed. Having the structured NAP and key facts mentioned, plus in the show notes, it strengthens local relevance and proves entity authority in a completely different media vertical, audio.
Wow. That is... yeah, a staggering amount of coordinated effort just to gain the AI's trust for a single announcement or topic.
It is, but that's the new baseline for high-value local search visibility.
Okay, so let's say a practice does all this. They build the entity, the AI trusts them, but they still need to actually get the patient in the door, right? Convert that trust into an appointment.
Precisely. The entity building gets you found and considered, but then you need the operational side.
Which you categorize into 3 pillars: get found, get selected, and get connected.
That's right. It's a framework to think about the whole patient acquisition process post-entity building.
So get found. That's the initial visibility part.
Exactly. This covers the ongoing local SEO work, constantly optimizing the Google business profile, managing those local listings and citations across, 70-plus directories consistently, and really critically now, deploying local service ads, LSAs.
Why are LSAs so vital now? Is it just because they're at the very top?
That's a huge part of it. The LSA placement, that premium spot, often with the Google Guaranteed badge, it's pretty much the only thing that reliably sits higher than, or sometimes right alongside, the AI overview results.
So the AI overview pushed organic down, but LSAs stayed high.
Exactly.
Yeah.
LSAs maintain that crucial topper page visibility, directly counteracting the displacement effect the AI overview has had on the old Maps pack and organic results. They are essential for staying visible for high-intent searches.
Okay. Pillar 2, get selected. This is about trust and responsiveness.
Yes. Once they find you, you need to be the one they choose. This is where reputation management comes in, having systems to automatically encourage and gather positive reviews via SMS or email.
You mentioned something critical here, negative review prevention.
Yeah. Yes. This is huge. A good system doesn't just ask for reviews. It has a mechanism, often a simple question like, how was your experience? Where if the feedback is negative, it routes that complaint to a private internal form.
Instead of prompting them to post it publicly on Google.
Exactly. It gives the practice a chance to address the issue internally before it becomes a public negative review that could damage that hard-earned entity score and trust signals. This pillar also includes the AI voice expert, which we should touch on.
We will. But first, pillar 3, get connected. This sounds like the conversion part.
It is. This focuses on actually booking the appointment and managing the relationship. It's largely handled through a specialized CRM and automation system, plus coordinated social media engagement.
Okay, let's double back to that AI voice expert you mentioned under Get Selected. You call it the expert voice assistant. We've all had that experience, right? trying to call a doctor's office at 4:58 p.m. on a Friday.
And getting voicemail. Yeah.
Is this expert voice assistant basically?
Yeah.
A lead life raft, preventing those missed opportunities.
It is absolutely the 247 lead life raft. It directly solves that huge problem of missed calls and, frankly, often inefficient front desk-led handling, which is just the kiss of death for high-intent patients who are ready to book now.
So what does it actually do?
It's essentially a highly trained virtual receptionist. It can answer calls 247 instantly. It can qualify leads based on the practice's criteria, handle common questions and objections, check schedules, and actually book appointments directly into the calendar.
Wow, $2.47.
$2.47. It ensures that all the money and effort spent on building the entity and getting found doesn't just evaporate the moment a potential patient tries to connect but can't get through.
That level of automation needs a solid backbone, I assume.
It does. It has to be tightly integrated with the CRM. And this is where the Specialized Reach Advantage CRM comes in. It's crucial to understand this isn't some bulky, generic enterprise sales CRM. It's built specifically for the workflow of fast-paced medical and wellness practices. Key features are things like automated follow-up sequences via two-way email and SMS, unified messaging, so all patient comms are in one place, and advanced analytics to track where patients are coming from, what the ROI is.
Making sure no one falls through the cracks.
Exactly. The CRM's core job is really automating those follow-ups to consistently hit the, typically 3 to 10 touch points needed to actually get a patient booked. It guarantees leads generated by the entity building, and LSAs don't just slip away due to lack of follow-up.
Okay, and one last thing on those local service ads.
Yeah.
You mentioned a management advantage that protects the client's ad spend.
Yes, this is really important and often overlooked with LSAs. Since Google charges per lead for LSAs, not per click, lead verification is absolutely essential. Meaning the firm managing the LSAs needs to review every single call or lead that comes through that channel. Verify if it was actually a qualified potential patient for the services offered. And if maybe it was a solicitor, wrong number, duplicate lead, they need to dispute those non-qualified leads directly with Google.
To get credits back.
To get credits back. This ensures the practice is only paying for legitimate, high-intent patient inquiries, which maximizes the ROI on that premium LSA visibility. It protects their budget.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, connecting all these threads, the big picture here.
The big picture is, well, the underlying principle for success now, heading into 2025 and beyond, is this fundamental shift. We're moving away from just optimizing individual web pages towards building a massive, comprehensive, verifiable digital entity, an entity that provides structured, citable facts across the entire digital landscape, an entity that actively speaks the language AI systems understand, positioning the practice as the undisputed, trustworthy institutional source for its expertise.
It really is clear the game has completely shifted. It's not just marketing to people anymore. It's marketing to the algorithms that people trust for recommendations.
That's a great way to put it.
And that entity authority requires that whole package. Structured, almost journalistic facts, diverse positive reviews across multiple platforms, that whole 7-asset multimedia suite distributed everywhere, all backed by that 24/7 automation to actually capture and convert the patient flow generated by all that effort.
That's the system, entity plus automation.
So here's a final thought then for you listening. In 2025, if local healthcare chiropractors, dentists, optometrists requires this incredibly complex level of multimedia reinforcement and institutional verification just to be seen as trustworthy by Google's AI.
Yeah.
What other service-driven professions are next? Think about lawyers, accountants, maybe specialized real estate agents. How soon will they have to adopt this kind of continuous multi-platform entity-building strategy just to compete effectively with Google's automated recommendations?
It's a really interesting question.
It feels like the era of the verified digital entity is definitely here. And maybe every local professional needs to start thinking about how they adapt.